B-Bad and Brandon.
I get that. You got to be in the mood for it.
I feel like you should go on like a
I'd love to start like a movie.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but just movies, and you would be like.
I'd like to see Brando's movie review every week.
Actually, that might be.
That wouldn't be a bad
If you
idea.
do that,
Because you get really into them.
just a
100%.
week,
Very
just a
passionate.
weekly download.
100%.
Make it a reel or whatever the
I
kids
might-
are watching these days, a TikTok or
What's
a
your favorite
TikTok.
genre of movie? Or you don't have one? Or
Oh,
action?
fantasy action, like
Fantasy action.
so,
yeah.
like Marvel.
Yeah,
I guess
okay.
like Matrix falls into that category as well.
Yeah.
You gotta watch the Matrix, dude.
See, I'm not big into just action. I like when they put humor into it as well, and there's like
Yeah.
maybe a bit of a love story, bit of humor. Like that's the part I like best. All the action stuff, I'm like, it's all special effects and shit. Like it's all a
yeah,
bit.
see that stuff really gets me though. Like I
Like
love
I watched Bond. Was it Bond?
The
I
last
don't know.
one.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
epic.
No, but no, come on. Like it
Oh,
was
bro,
so outrageous.
You like had us.
It's like, how do they not die? Like they.
Maybe he did die.
Didn't he die?
Yeah.
No, but
At the end, he got hit with a missile.
yeah, but I just mean all the fight scenes in
Oh, yeah.
before that.
They're very
I'm
they're very
like-
resilient.
Yeah,
They're very
very
resilient.
You know, like
Very resilient.
That's a very okay. Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from there. There are some movies I've
Just
watched.
like-
Did you ever watch the Bourne movies?
Oh,
Jason Bourne's,
no,
dude.
no. I know.
I mean,
oh
that's-
God.
That's literally the genre you said you don't necessarily connect with.
Mm.
We'll have to send you a list.
Yeah, send me a list. I'm open.
I feel like
I'm
Bailey
open to it.
would
I'm going to
love-
Bali for 2.5 weeks in like
Oh, there we
not
go.
8 days. So I'm going to have a lot of time on my hands. You know, I'm just going to be sitting by the villa, in the villa,
Watching
by the
Jason
pool,
Bourne and
watching some
Matrix.
movies.
I don't really want to continue this podcast now because I'm so jealous.
Yeah, Bali would be nice.
Bali would be nice.
Yeah,
You
I've
been
never
there before?
been. No, I
Ooh.
feel like I'm like the last Aussie not to go.
You never
so...
No, I've never been. I've
You never
been.
been?
I've been overseas, but never
Yeah.
to Bali.
It's
You've
so
been?
cheap
I was
as
this big.
well.
I was
Like,
just maybe
We
somewhere
have
around this height.
a villa in like the nicest area, huge, massive villa. It's cheaper than like a night on the Gold Coast, like in a basic
What?
motel. Like it is so nice, so
Damn.
cheap.
So good.
Mm.
Private pool, all that.
Yeah, the whole lot.
Oh, get
We have a house
mate.
keeper.
Yeah. What?
We have a housekeeper.
That's how the holiday.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So after like all the hectic past few months where we've been running around doing all these shows and
100%.
it's been a bit intense. So I was like, look, we just need to chill out for a few weeks.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody oath you do.
Do you
Yeah.
still train?
Well, like the thing is, there's some cool gyms in,
Mm.
in Bali. Like I've been
100%.
looking at them, and I think we're just gonna go check a few out.
Bali and Thailand's where like a lot of people used to go just to train, like training camps. And all sorts.
Yeah.
Especially- I mean, Thailand's big
Thailand,
for
definitely.
fighting, eh?
Both and bodybuilding.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I feel like there's a big CrossFit community.
Yeah, big
In
that too.
Bali?
Bali too. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a huge CrossFit in Bali. Can't remember the name of it, but it's literally massive.
Yeah, Lily was just saying like we need to go.
Yeah.
She wants us training
Because apparently it's like a lot of people go over there and open up like CrossFit gyms, and it's massive.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a lot of like of these like influencer fitness people, they actually go for like half the year and stuff,
Mm.
and they live there for
Low
extended
cost of
periods
living.
time. Yeah, and they
Great
can just-
content.
yeah, exactly. What's not to
What?
love?
Yeah. All I'm thinking is, why am I still in Australia?
You got an online coach over there, bro.
Yeah,
Fucking oath.
definitely could.
Yeah, it costs peanuts to live over there.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the old mate that we had on the podcast lives over there? Pete. No,
Pete, Scotty.
Scotty.
Scott lives in
Phillips.
Thailand.
Yeah.
I saw him today.
So he's not in Thailand.
No, he had double hip replacement.
Ooh.
Completely
Ooh.
off topic, but yeah, he
Oh, God, how
randomly.
old is he?
48. Yeah, he hobbled his way in. So random. Just
No.
walked into the gym and
Oh, you didn't even know.
no, I knew he was getting it, and then
Yeah, but you didn't know
he's-
he was coming in.
No, just he was driving past. He had 5 seconds to spare and popped in to say hello because he hadn't seen us for like literally 3 years. Super lovely. But then yeah, he's here for like 5 more days and then straight back home to Thailand.
I do want to go to Thailand as well because I love Thai food.
Thailand.
Oh,
Epic.
Anything spicy? I'm just like-
Well, I will say, Nicola made a red Thai curry this week, and we tried like a different kind of spot. Well,
Yummy, yummy.
she made a different recipe. It was way too spicy for me. Like, I love spice.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is why we have these things.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I
So
love
you don't need
spice.
one, but we do.
You speak properly. Where we used to get in trouble
Little
because
dribbly.
like our audio engineer would be like, "You guys just breathe heavy." I'm like,
Oh.
Breathe and dribble.
yeah. Yeah. No,
What
I
type
love
of-
spice.
What was it, like a curry?
Red Thai curry.
Oh, red Thai curry.
Fucking love it.
Yum.
But just could not handle the degree of spice.
Were you sweating?
No, because it was so cold this week.
Okay.
I feel like that mitigated the sweat. Which I've also
Because
kind
I'm
of
sorry, I feel like so many guys say, I can handle spice. I love spice.
Oh, no.
Right? As soon as you give them a curry, the sweat
Yeah.
is dripping from their forehead. And then I'm eating it like, this is really fine.
Yeah,
Like, it's so funny.
I
Everyone
would
goes like, oh,
agree.
yeah, I love spice. I'm like, okay.
I see. That's the thing that I love spice.
Yeah.
I know I can't handle it. Very big difference,
Oh,
boys.
yeah.
Be vulnerable. Just
Yeah.
say it out.
At least
own
he's
it.
honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
own it. Just say it. Like
Gotta own it.
'cause there's nothing worse. Like I remember. So my family's Italian. I know this podcast is about you, but this is a funny story. My family's Italian. My old man only ever really grew up on Italian food. Like he never had anything else. And
Is it necessary to have anything else if you're
you
from an Italian
you
family?
make a really good
It's
point.
not.
Even
It's
the
just
pizzas.
not.
Bro, my nonna
The
made
spaghetti sauce.
dude, she made an eggplant lasagna the other week, and it was
Oh, damn.
fucking
Eggplant
unreal.
lasagna, that's like my favorite.
It
I
is-
love any veggie lasagna. So
It was amazing. But he had never had a curry before, and my mum
Oh,
invited him to a
yes.
family thing, and her father made a curry,
Yes.
and it was from memory. They've told the story many times. Crab curry,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was so hot. But my dad didn't realize
Uh-oh.
my mum had invited him to a whole like family affair.
Uh-oh.
So he met their whole family on like their first, second date,
Here we go.
and he was like, "Well, I
Oh.
can't bitch out." So he's
Oh,
eating
he
this
sucked
curry.
it up. He sucked
He
it up.
sucked up, and he's sweating. He's sweating. Yeah. And they're all like, "Are you all right?" And he's like, "I'm fine."
Yeah, this is good. Give me
Oh.
another
Yeah.
plate.
Fuck that though.
Oh, no.
I'm just completely okay with saying I love spice. I just can't handle it,
Yeah.
and definitely cannot handle it the next day.
Mild,
Oh,
would be,
no.
mild
Yeah.
is enough. Thank you.
It's like when I go to Nando's, I'm getting mild. And there's no
Yeah.
shame in that.
Really? You're getting mild?
I don't want to, but
Really? Mild from Nando's?
Yeah. Medium's a little,
Nah, that's
little
no, there's
zingy.
no flavour in that. Surely, just the first spice, hot, not
Oh,
not even
mild
extra hot.
spice.
It's got one
I
chili
gotta
on
go
there.
hot.
Isn't it like mild, medium, hot, extra hot?
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
is a few
extra
ways,
hots.
Yeah. No, I think I
You
get
don't
hot.
want that.
I haven't
Hot.
had it in a
You
while,
are
but-
crazy.
Yeah.
I got mild sauce in the fridge there for my chippies.
Yeah. Have you ever put the like buying that sauce and then
Yeah,
just having it?
I buy the hot
Oh,
one.
Of course you do.
You're a savage.
You're
As
just
I
a high
say, Thailand
achiever
is for me. I want to go for the
Yeah,
food.
that's how we got to that. I was wondering
Yeah.
how this conversation started. But yeah,
But
I reckon you would suit Thailand.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's actually talk about stuff about you. Because
Yeah.
we really just
I haven't even asked the question yet.
Yeah.
That was a big detour. Hey,
It
that
was, but-
weird.
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much
We're,
for having me.
You could actually I think you are our first pro athlete.
Really?
Yeah, pro bodybuilder.
Oh, amazing.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stan.
Wow.
Oh, Stan Efferdine.
Yeah, first female.
First female pro.
Yeah.
Fuck, we did forget Stan.
Stands out, bro.
Stands out Iron Brother.
Yeah.
Do you know who Stan Efferdine is?
Uh-oh.
Um,
Okay, well, we're gonna
Wait.
no.
I think-
Anyway.
no, the name rings a bell.
You will know
Yeah.
him. I think you'll know him when you see him. But welcome.
Thanks.
So as you alluded to, we do have one question.
One question.
We should ask the question.
The question is, you have 21 words and or sounds to describe who you are and what you do. He counts all of those things.
The anxiety
Are
is
you-
what we live for.
Ready. Very accountable. Will you be held to 21?
Oh, do I
I'll
That's your
count them.
count.
He'll count them. You say 'em.
just tell me when to go?
Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go.
Hi, I'm Kate. I just finished my first ever bodybuilding season. I competed in 5 shows and
16, 17.
somehow got a pro card.
Shit, that was 21. That was that
It
was
on the-
yeah.
That was a fluke.
it. No, you're see what I've gathered already.
You're elite.
Obviously, sorry.
You're elite,
Yeah,
pretty much.
but you're a high achiever and elite in just everything you do.
Definitely wouldn't say that. No,
What do you do for a job again?
I work for a judge.
Yeah, exactly.
a judge. Sick.
Because you're all like studied as a lawyer.
Yeah, so I did like a law
Law degree?
I did a law and business degree, and then I'm admitted as a solicitor
Yeah,
now,
right.
and I'm working for a judge. Basically, you a judge's associate is like a job that you have for the first year or two out
Yeah.
of uni, and it's like to see the behind the scenes of the court system, and
Yeah, right.
you get to like literally spend your whole like year with one-on-one with a judge and just see everything they do behind
Wow.
the scenes. It's a very unique job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very like, yeah, you kind of only can do it like once in your career. So I applied, and
What an opportunity.
yeah, it's really cool. It's been awesome.
Has it been what you expected?
Yeah, it's been really, really great. Like, yeah, seeing like criminal law in action.
So you're criminal law by, is that what you studied?
So a law degree, you can choose like electives and things. I
Right.
mean, you do have to do criminal law as a subject. It's a core subject, but basically a law degree, you just have, everyone has to do a set number of subjects as core subjects to get your degree.
Right. And then
Yeah.
you can choose and mix and match electives.
Yeah.
You know what I fucking mean. Electives on
Pretty much, yeah.
Just for those listening, we're recording this on a Friday afternoon. Very different to when we used to. So we're all a bit...
Coffee's run out.
We're caffeinated up, but it's sort of
It just
making
weaned
us...
out.
Yeah, it's really...
It just did nothing for me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, same.
Anywho.
Broad range of cases you'd see come through there? Like
Yeah,
degrees
so,
of seriousness, I guess you would say.
Yeah, definitely. Everything other than like murder, basically.
Yep.
And some very high level drugs. That's just for the Supreme Court. My judge is a district court judge.
Yep.
So we see a lot of, it's very, very sad.
I was going to say it'd be pretty hard to sit there and kind of witness all this unfold.
Yeah, like some of it's okay. It's like, assaults in pubs and things like that, but it's anything to do with children just gets me like a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
100%. I think that'd be the hardest part of your job is...
And unfortunately, there is a lot.
Really?
A lot.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
How do you switch off from something like that? Have you worked that out yet? Is this something you're developing?
The thing is, you see such a volume of it.
Yep.
Most of it, obviously, none of it is good. Most of it is like, not great, but not. I've only had about 2 cases where it's really affected me to the point where I've like, been physically distressed. Yeah. Like, that's right. And those ones, you just sort of have to like. It's real. All the other associates really supportive, and you just got to talk to other people and just be like, oh, look, I saw this really messed up case, and
Sorry.
It is very sad, some of the stuff you see, but at the same time, part of the job, criminal law, like what you're in for, you knew what, and they do provide assistance if you need it and whatnot.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah.
And where would you go next? What would be the
next
next
so
path?
basically, there's a few different paths that I could go down. I've got 6 more months as an associate.
Yeah, right.
And then I just have to make the call. So whether that be like,
are you leaning to one thing in particular? Can we get an exclusive for our podcast? our fans are literally, I can hear them screaming.
I'm really not 100% sure, to be honest, which is, I know, not ideal at this point, but I don't know. I really want to do something that I don't want to be going into work every day being like, oh, this is like another day. I really want to find something where I'm genuinely like passionate about it. Yep. So I'm not sure whether that will be continuing down the law side or maybe using my business degree and
we forgot about the other side of that.
Whole other degree kicking around in there.
Yeah. And then I guess switching gears a little bit, but you mentioned passion, and one of your passions, I've known you obviously before this podcast for a little bit, and is lifting, training, bodybuilding. As
Definitely
we just
listen things.
Fucking oath, bro. Because you won your first powerlifting comp too.
Yeah, the novice one. Yeah.
The Pretty and Powerful.
No, it was
Spring Cup.
Is that called Buster Nut?
Oh, it was Buster Nut. Yeah, it was Buster Nut.
Yeah. It's the funniest name.
Yeah, they
I didn't even know it was called that until
really?
Like a couple of weeks ago. I was like, I just kept calling it the novice comp and then Lily was like Buster Nut, and I was like, oh yeah, that one.
That one.
Yeah, so you won that.
Yeah.
You won the Buster Nut.
I'm pretty sure I beat the boys too, because I looked at the
coefficients.
Yeah, and mine was.
And you beat the boys too. No big deal.
That's the part I'm most proud of, I think.
100%.
What was your numbers?
It was, I think I got a 165 squat, 85 bench, 160 dead at 66 kilograms.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
And you remember that?
But
those
also,
numbers in your first comp?
No.
Were you in sleeves or wraps?
No, I was in wraps. Yeah.
I swore you were in sleeves. I mean, that doesn't take away from those numbers, but
still nice.
You're crazy.
Thanks.
Very strong.
That's very strong.
Very
And
strong.
like, I'd only decided to actually do a comp. Like, we only did about a 10-week.
Yeah, because
prep.
you were training with Lily, I remember, I think.
Yeah, just to learn how to literally do the basic lifts,
Yeah.
just so that, like, I didn't mess myself up in the gym. You
Yeah.
know? Like, I saw people get like stretch it out of like an Anytime Fitness
Are you
that I was
serious?
training
Oh,
at.
for real?
Actually stretch it out, and I was just
Jesus.
like, no,
I don't want that.
It's
That doesn't
like,
look good.
I need to learn how to do
I need
this
some
stuff
things.
properly. You
I
know?
wish, though,
Wow.
like, not. I wish more people had your
Yeah, that'd be
awareness
nice.
of, oh shit, I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna go learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
So initially, that like powerlifting as a sport was not even in my like.
line of sight.
Not at all. It was literally just I saw like I think I found Lily on like socials and I was like, wow, she is badass. I just want to meet her firstly.
Classic
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah,
Get
classic
that.
Lily response. Yeah,
Yeah, like
we
firstly I
get
just want to
that.
meet her, and secondly, like I want her to teach me.
Yeah.
And like holy shit, she's in Brisbane. Yes.
that
And
always
so,
helps.
Yeah. So yeah, then basically, yeah, I think within like a few weeks though, she had convinced me like, are you gonna compete? You're gonna compete? And I was like, compete.
Classic powerlifting.
That's
coach.
yeah. I was gonna say that's classic.
And now I'm just like, when am I doing my next comp? Like,
Yeah.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah.
So were you powerlifting before bodybuilding? Or
oh no,
Yeah.
no, I
Oh,
like.
she did the comp before her. Yeah.
Oh right,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh sorry, I thought you meant yeah. I initially had started like a bodybuilding program,
oh yeah, cool.
then found Lily,
Yep.
Mm.
then did powerlifting,
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
went back
nice.
to bodybuilding and did a yeah.
What gravitated you to bodybuilding?
Well, initially I hadn't planned on competing at all. It was more just
In bodybuilding.
No, yeah, I contacted like Tiara, my coach, just to lose some body fat because it was like after COVID and like I was just feeling a bit off, you know, like
Yeah.
you know, I was just I need a structured program, I need some accountability, like
I'm
you know, I just finished my degree, like
Yeah.
COVID, there was no gyms, like I was
I'm
in a bit of a
just shocked
state.
that like you had no intentions of competing in either
Oh
sports.
no, nothing.
And you come out a queen on top on both.
One
Like-
and pro card, yeah,
Bro.
no big deal.
Yeah, like in the last like 18 months, I feel like there's just been a whole thing that's gone down.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I wish people could like, if you're not watching it on YouTube, my face is like jaw to the floor.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you just started with the
Tiara.
Tiara,
Yeah.
yeah, and just started with her,
The
just
bodybuilding
just-
dietitians. Yeah, it was literally just like
Lose
to
some-
learn more about nutrition and
Yep.
get a structured training program.
Yep.
And
She
just,
did
like,
the same thing Lily did and was like, do this comp. Or did you start seeing results and think,
yeah, like so basically I'd been with her for a few months
Hmm.
and then I'd put on like a bit of muscle because I feel like I like respond well.
she says a bit of muscle. She's one of the most jacked humans walking the earth.
brilliant.
Yeah.
So then I walk into
Wish
the
I
gym
put
with
it-
Lily
Yeah.
and she thought I was pranking her. I don't know, she thought she was being pranked. She was like she kept like mentioning my biceps and she's like, I'm being punked. Like something about, you know, oh no, she thought that I was like some trainer that was coming in to like secretly assess her to see how she
Yeah,
How she
right.
did things.
to see how, you know, so
Yeah.
God, dear.
That's the best.
so
Lily
yeah.
hasn't told me that.
I found
Wow.
that really funny, but yeah, I'll never forget the first time I literally walk in and then yeah, she was just like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "What?" Yeah.
I know. Well, it definitely aged you because I think I remember talking to Lily about it, like, because one of the first times I met you because I was training Bailey at the time,
Mm.
I was also like, she's fucking shredded.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, no offense, Bailey, I love you, but I was like, bruh, we got to get shredded to compete. We got to raise standard here. But and like you had such good muscle belly that was always going to cover. What the fuck word I was looking for? Translate over into powerlifting really
Mm.
well. Like you had really good mind muscle connection. It was obvious that when you took on powerlifting, it was not a no brainer you're going to succeed.
Well, apparently, yeah, I didn't know that, but
Yeah,
it's
those
worked
muscles are
out that
strong
way.
muscles.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It was
Mm.
insane. And then were you shocked at how strong you got? Or did you realize how strong you were? Or was it something that was just so new to you? You were just going, oh, I trust Lily.
So I think I've always known I've been obviously like athletic, but I've
Yep.
always done sort of team sports,
Right.
you know, so like at a fairly high level, like, you know, was like played soccer, went to nationals for that when I was like 15. But then from about 15 all the way through my uni degree,
Mm.
it was just social sport.
Yeah.
But I've always been a bit stronger than like the average girl. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like even during school, like I did dancing when I was 10, and like I was the only girl that could like lift people above my head, and in the splits, you know, I'd be holding them up, like
Fuck, that's insane. Yeah.
like all that sort of stuff.
I know,
You know,
I'm like, I don't think I could do that.
So like I've always been quite strong for a girl, but I absolutely no idea I would be good at powerlifting. You know,
Yeah, right.
I just knew, you know, I was
You were
stronger
strong.
than the average girl, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, real strong.
Then, yeah,
Way
fucking
stronger than the
oath.
average.
But,
Stronger than the
yeah.
average boy too.
Yeah, that's fair.
If I'd
So-
be very honest.
But yeah, I feel like I've just started though. You know, like I'm
100%.
only like.
But where do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in this sport, both sports really now.
Mm.
You've just come off the back of doing I don't know how many shows. Honestly, I don't know if you know
Yeah.
how many shows. It was. It felt like it was one every. No, you did a couple in a day.
Yeah.
It's two different.
I did 2 in one weekend within 12 hours of each
Yeah.
other, pretty much.
Jesus.
So I stepped off.
Yeah.
I was on stage around like 2:30, 2:45, and then on stage the next morning at 9 a.m. And then in 2 different states.
Did that?
Two different states.
How
Two
did-
different
Did you
How-
drive or fly?
fly? Yeah.
How did
Damn.
your coach manage that?
Oh, she made it to the show. We both just flew back. I flew back then that night, and she flew back the first morning flight,
Yeah.
and literally just made it before I was going to go on stage. So Bailey was kind of just like came in as like pump up coach. You know,
Yeah.
at this.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But food wise, timing wise,
Oh, that was
was that tricky?
like traveling, like because obviously bodybuilding, you know, you just everything's got to be.
Everything's meticulous to
It's
the
really
T.
and when you add travel into the mix, do you find like whenever I fly, I don't know, I feel like I'm fluid,
Mm.
like
Yeah.
There's the
For
thing
sure.
about it for 100%.
Add a little water.
and
Yep.
also like just I think like a bit of the stress from
yeah.
just jumping from that show
100%.
Mm.
airport, you know.
You wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I was in the makeup chair at 6 a.m. that morning. And
That's
I
my
only
next
got
question.
Home at
You
like
could
11.
Pulling makeup and stuff off, and then you
Yeah.
straight back. Oh,
It was crazy. It was so much fun. Wouldn't change it. So glad I did all the shows I did.
Would have been
But-
an experience for sure.
Yeah, it was nuts.
How did you go with the tan though? Because from my understanding, different federations respond better to different
Mm.
tans
Yeah.
and their different lightings.
Yeah.
Taking all that into account, were you like tanned up for one show,
Yeah.
scrubbing it off, tan the
Didn't scrub it off. They
Yeah.
just do. I just got the overcoat. So I was.
overcoat. Yeah, right.
There's
You know, I
so
got
many
the day.
coats, bro.
There's lots of coats. Yeah, you learn all of this. It's crazy.
Whoa. How many
Yeah.
coats we talking here?
Well, IFBB they do 3 coats. They do
right.
2 days before, the day before, and the day of. I think.
Yeah,
And
right.
then ICN, it's just the day before, the day of, and then depending, they use
Protein.
not Pro-Tan, sorry, they use Dream Tan, which is
Right.
like the really gold stuff that they
Yeah.
put on you. So, yeah.
That's a lot of tan.
To be honest, I think I maybe looked a little bit darker, but not. You couldn't really notice the
Yeah.
different tans on stage. I don't think.
Another thing though, from my understanding, is like you gotta have a different almost bikini outfit for each single one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
My bikini lady saved me. Phoenix bikinis, Phoenix posing suits. She's
Shout out
amazing.
Phoenix.
Yeah,
How,
Yeah.
how many?
incredible.
So okay, how many shows did you do? 6,
5.
5.
Mm,
Fuck.
Yeah.
And across
Is
2
it-
different feds.
yes.
Does that mean different posing routines for different
Yeah.
events as well?
Well, the different federations do
Yep.
posing.
How the
Sure.
fuck did you manage all this?
I don't know.
Damn.
I have no
So remember
idea.
when I said before that high achiever, and she's like,
Was the
nah.
plan always to do 5, or did you nail the first one? And
absolutely
then...
not. No. Initially, I was only doing ICN.
Yep.
And then we were just like, let's give IFBB a crack. And I initially started as like, there's different categories, but bikini is essentially I don't know if you know what, like,
No,
there's different divisions.
Yeah.
I started in bikini. I went to a different category. I ended up in like IFBB figure. And IFBB, you know, it's an untested federation
Yep.
for anyone. And figure is definitely like muscle that,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
That was my next
X
question.
frame.
Yeah.
Definitely you need like.
Yeah.
There's a lot of performance enhancer being thrown around in IFBB.
mm,
Coming from that ISN background, obviously we know you're a natural lifter, natural bodybuilder. Yeah, bodybuilder.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is not working. I'm so sorry.
Function low.
Friday afternoon.
Oh,
like
bro.
also 3 p.m. Friday
Oh.
afternoon. I'm so sorry.
No, that's not your
Yeah,
fault.
star.
Yeah, I'm playing. Like, I had a really.
This is happy hour normally. Like
fair.
you know.
I had a chiro adjustment this morning though, and I'm
Oh.
floored since then.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to it. So you know you're natural going into the IFBB. Was there a point where it's like, this is going to be out a little bit out of my depth? I could
100%.
feel it. Yeah.
100%.
How'd you manage that?
I had there was no expectation on me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Absolutely none.
Yeah,
I did not even think I was going to place.
Yeah.
And then I
Didn't
go
you
into
win?
the Brisbane. Well, so the novice category, I'm standing on stage and I'm, again, all these amazing women, and they look, to me, I'm looking at them, they look absolutely jacked and ripped. And like, I'm like, I've got no chance. And then I ended up winning novice, like the novice category. Like,
Damn.
I honestly
What do you?
could not believe that.
Whoa.
Yeah, but
What's that like? Because
Yeah.
they call your name and three of you step forward or something,
Yeah.
and then and you're thinking, oh fuck, hang on a minute.
Yeah, and I was like,
And then they call your
"You're
name for
kidding." I was like,
first.
there's got to be a mistake here. Like,
really?
anyway, so then I come off. Then we come on for opens. This is everyone, right? And everyone. So yeah, everyone's lined up, and like, it's the most like stacked lineup that they've ever had for figure in Queensland. And yeah, I got second. Couldn't believe it. But yeah, like the judges were actually taking quite a while, and they came around and they were asking us like, what are you going to eat post show? And like, they're going around, and I'm thinking, why are they doing this?
The judges were asking that.
No, like the MC guy.
Oh,
And it was because when they called second place out, they were like, and it was really close between first and second. And then they called me out. So I was like just behind.
So they were literally
Firstly.
debating on you versus.
And I was like, this is like, how, you know, because I'm looking at myself going, surely not, you know.
See, I
But
guess
the thing is, it's all like smoke and mirror, like it's an illusion.
well, it's not
game,
so much
you know?
smoke and mirrors. I mean, like to a degree, there's, from my understanding, of bodybuilding, the way you pose and the way you can manipulate things is what I'm trying to get at. But from an outside
Shape,
perspective,
not size.
But from an outside perspective, anyone looking at you going, yeah, she deserves that.
Hmm.
I looked at that photo of you on every competition. Lily and I would send them back to each other going, how the fuck is she doing this? She looks absolutely unreal. Like, because you were just peeled well beyond anything that most, like 99% of this human population could ever conceptualize. You were that level.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, like, yeah, I mean, I definitely was happy with it, like my conditioning for sure.
100%.
In those shows, but yeah, it's. I suppose because it's hard to, when you're backstage, you just see these women who do appear to be a lot bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, you know. But when you're on the stage, what the judges are seeing, like what they're looking for is obviously the proportions and like the X frame and like the conditioning, right? So yeah, obviously was super stoked, and then that's why I was not expecting to do as well as I did in the Queensland show, and that's when I decided to do the national show. Right. So it was the next weekend.
Damn.
So I literally booked a whole like Melbourne trip.
Yeah.
Luckily my brother lives in Melbourne, so he let me stay with him.
Shout out, brother.
Yes.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you, Ross.
Shout out, Ross.
So yeah, we booked flights, registered for the show, registered for nationals, and went down.
What? Yeah. Is there a requirement to place in Queensland to go to the nationals, or how does it work?
Yeah.
And how'd you go at nationals?
Nationals, I got second in novice. Fuck. But did not place in opens at all. Yeah, so it just bodybuilding, right? It's one judging panel.
Yeah. Different. Do you struggle with that though? Because like I'm looking at that, like it's a very subjective sport where it can, something compared to like powerlifting, it's if you don't lift the weight, well, you can't. You say, oh, well, it's not necessarily different criteria. Yeah. Where a different judge could have a different perception of what that interpretation is or whatever it is.
Yeah, it is tricky, especially because there was only a week between shows.
Not much you can do.
Girls that I had,
that's a good point.
Yeah, what girls who I'd won against in the Queensland show, like were in first call outs in the national show, and I'm just like,
yeah, right.
So, I mean, people can change within a week for sure. Yep. Like you can come in, but like not that.
Do you think?
I don't think.
What do you do for that week? If you don't mind me asking for.
Yeah, so it was just like managing. You're doing like pump up sessions.
Yep, you're not overtraining and going too hard.
You're not. Yeah, no, you're not. You're not going. At that point, you don't have the energy to like.
You're running on lettuce.
Like it's your energy is pretty low.
Yep.
But yeah, you're doing like pump up sessions. You feel okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Adrenaline as well. Like
adrenaline carries you through a lot, doesn't it?
For sure.
Are you working through this week as well?
No, so I took 3 weeks off, thank God.
Bloody oath.
Yeah, thank God.
Fucking oath to manage all that. Do you think though, going in, being your first season, not really knowing what to expect allowed you just to relax a little and just go in and kind of like really just soak it all into a point of going, okay, well, I don't have any expectations. Let's just see what happens.
Particularly for that first IFBB, like the Queensland show, like I was like, this is just stage experience, like, you know. But then I think because I did so well, I went to nationals thinking like, because Queensland had the most figure girls, so it was mostly Queensland girls going to nationals. Obviously, there was a few from other states, but and then
so you already kind of figured who you knew you were up against.
So I knew who I was up against. So yeah, I think I probably put a little bit more pressure on myself for the nationals, hoping I'd do a little bit better, but still to come second in the novice category, my first ever season, you know, as a natty with like only having trained for 18 months. Like I can't be I'm not disappointed in the slightest.
It's not a bad outcome.
Yeah, not a bad outcome. Like still super stoked.
Because then you went quick turnaround the next day to the ICN wasn't it?
Yeah, that was then the Brisbane show.
Did that affect you going to ICN? Did you like feel like
I felt like honestly, like I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. Like obviously I was a little bit upset, right? Because it was like I expected, I was hoping at least to get into like the first call outs in that open category. So to not get that, I was like, oh God. But then you kind of just got to pull your head in and you're just like, look, you know,
it's a sport.
I can't be disappointed. Like, you know, it's my first ever season. Like, let's just rationalize this. You know, it wasn't the result I wanted, but I still had an epic weekend in Melbourne. Got to see like my brother, you know, Bailey did a food tour of
yeah, bro. Her boyfriend's just eating all these foods in front of her.
To be honest, I
encouraged it.
I did encourage it.
But
I used to live in Melbourne as well. Like when I was a little girl, and I go down there quite frequently. So I have seen all the food scene. Like I've eaten all the good foods, and he'd never been. So I was like, oh, I got to take you to this bakery. Got to take you here.
Yeah, you would have came back 5 kgs heavier.
Hell yeah.
So the quick turnaround, you get to the ICN Nationals. Was it National?
That was the Brisbane show.
The Brisbane show.
Yeah.
Okay.
On a Sunday, 9 a.m.
Damn.
It's so early. I know.
Yeah.
Like,
that is very early.
And how did you go with that show?
Yeah, so I took out Miss Figure for that one. Yeah, so that was great.
Which qualified you for the Nationals?
I had already qualified because of the Sunshine Coast show.
Right.
I think. And then I did like a gold class division with a pro. Her name's Erin.
Yep.
It was just like, it's just a bit of fun.
Yep.
And like she beat me in that, which was cool. And then then I went down to Nationals 2 weeks later in Sydney.
Yeah, that's right. And you took out.
Yeah, so took out the Miss Figure there, and then got my pro card, and then did the pro show and won the pro show. So
fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Where was the pro show?
That night.
That night, yeah. Wow.
Oh, so that's how quick
it
is.
works.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Was that like, oh, fuck?
Did you expect to get that far that weekend? Or you're just saying,
Again,
just go for an experience and see what happens?
There was ladies from all over the country competing in figure. Like, you know, there
They
was
were
some
good.
absolutely peeled women from Western Australia. Like,
yeah.
I was looking at photos of them like the night before, like, oh, they've got me surely. Like, this is, you know. Then somehow again, I don't know. I was not feeling confident at all, but
so you go in and you end up winning the Miss Figure overall.
Yeah.
And then you get your pro card.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the pro show.
You don't have to, but I was like, I might as well.
Right. Okay. So you can elect.
You don't have to. Yeah.
Fuck.
And then how many are you up against in that?
Yeah.
Or there was only one other. So Erin.
Yeah. Right.
Who had beaten me 2 weeks before, and then I
beat her.
Yeah.
Bam.
That's insane.
So, yeah.
That must have felt good though. Like, you know, honestly, like being beaten and then come back 2 weeks later, that's got to feel good.
Yeah, well, it honestly, like, it was pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Yeah.
And okay, so Johnny and I were talking before. Why do you get a sword?
No, I don't know. I think it's bodybuilding tradition.
Right.
Like, I think it's a tradition in the sport to get a sword.
Oh,
but
it's cool.
I should probably know why it's a sword, but
I mean, like, it's your first season. I'm not going to hold it against you.
But it's not just like ICN. Like, I've seen like federations in the UK, they get swords and things. So I think it is a tradition.
It's really cool.
It kind of is cool.
Yep.
I want a sword.
Except getting it on a flight wasn't cool.
How do you get it home?
Yeah.
Oh God. So I had to beg the customs people to like let me take. Well, they had to put it in the dangerous items.
Yeah.
But you're meant to package it, you know, and like I didn't have any packaging. I'm in Sydney, like I'm, you know, staying at a hotel. And
That's fucking weird.
yeah,
I'm
so
not gonna go
then
down the local
they managed to
post
find
office.
some bubble wrap, and after me begging the lady for like 20 minutes, being
Yeah.
like, "We're about to miss our flight, and I really want my sword," and she was like, "Oh, okay."
Damn, but
Yeah.
came home all right, safe.
Came home all wrapped
That's
up.
like you'd think that. I feel like that. When you're planning these events, getting it back on a plane as a
Some sort of
promoter,
packaging.
Yes,
surely you're going to
I
provide either some
know.
packaging or maybe just go, look, you know what, just
Throw
leave
some
it
bubble
here.
wrap in.
We'll courier it.
We'll
to
post it
you.
up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's I'm going to say that's not on you, but
Mm,
fuck, that's actually quite funny.
Cool.
yeah.
So what do you have eyes for next? Like now you're the top.
Yeah. Well,
What do you take on next?
well, I'm gonna do a powerlifting comp at the end
Cool,
of the year.
of course.
Basically, I need to it's like a big build phase.
Yep.
And obviously, like powerlifting can greatly assist with that.
Mm-hmm.
So
100%. It's a good sport to complement both.
exactly.
Well, both sports complement both. Sorry.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there are obviously people who have like the opinion that you sort of like if you really want to do one to the highest level, you choose one and you only do that. But I really enjoy both.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
I
but,
really want to try and make it work.
100%. I agree with that statement, but I'm sure we can all agree there's outliers to that statement.
Mm.
And I'm
Doing some squat, bench, and dead. It's not going to hurt the
Yeah.
physique, surely.
Oh no, particularly not with the category I've chosen to
But also-
compete in. Figure, like
I feel like you've already proven you're the outlier. Like,
It'd be just a matter of getting the supplementary stuff, I guess,
yeah,
right.
lined up.
Yeah.
And then it
just
can...
doing some machine stuff like hypertrophy work on the top of
I got on a preacher curl, bicep curl machine set strength
Do you get-
sanctuary. It
Do
was
you get
amazing.
feedback or anything like after those sort of shows?
Yeah.
That, so you kind of know what you should work on and bring to
Yeah.
the next time again.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. Like my back has to get bigger.
Looks like we got some deadlifts.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Deadlifts will help.
As
Your
I
back
said,
has to get bigger. That was a feedback.
yeah, I definitely need more of that like V taper.
Mm.
To be honest, like, yeah, like as bad as this sounds, like I didn't even really know at the very beginning of prep like how to like rear delts. Like I'd have to get Bailey to be like tap my rear like because like so I'm brand back. The back is like so complex.
Yeah.
There's so much to it. So
That's
now that I've
adorable,
learned
though.
a lot more about back anatomy, I feel like I can hit it hard and grow my back and
That's
should be
awesome, dude.
but yeah, some other feedback like it's pretty much just size everywhere, really.
Yep.
Is that
other
from
than my
like,
quads. My quads are good.
Yeah, we've seen those things. Is that coming majorly just from the IFBB scene, or was it ICN as well giving the similar feedback? Because me personally, I look at IFBB untested fed, the muscular development surely in these other women could be a lot higher if they are using PEDs.
Well, that was feedback from
IFBB,
but I think my coach agrees. Essentially, we had a discussion before I even got any feedback, and that was pretty much what we'd said like I should be working on. Like even like my shoulders, like you know
those round things on the edge
like
there.
they've apparently got to get bigger too, and I'm just like,
right.
I'm like, yeah, okay.
Wait till you see the photos, man. Like it's, I mean, have you seen it? But I'm talking to the audience. I guess it's like
she'd be shredded,
bro. She's got delts.
So to come back to what you're saying, like I think like I've got a lot to work on, and I know that, but I feel like my shoulders for like a natural woman, like are probably one of my like strong.
100%.
I'm like,
how does that correlate?
Like if you're natural, so
that I guess opens up the question. You've achieved a pro card in the ICN Natty. Does the IFBB seem more appealing to you? Is the going down that untested path even a thing in your brain, or you're just like, no, I'm going to continue on the path I'm on?
Part of me, just because like there's like a lot of competition obviously there, and
I
like,
feel like you're a
competitor.
Yeah.
You already won the other guys too.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Time to
It's
win
like
the
you
next
kind
one.
of done what you needed to do from an outside perspective of looking at going, yeah, cool, she's won the Natty Fed. I'm just going to keep calling Natty and non-Natty Fed.
Let's take on the next one.
Yeah, like is that more where you're leaning to? I mean, I guess what I'm really asking is PED use for you on the cards?
Oh
or
no, God no! No, definitely not.
Yeah.
But I would continue to like compete in that federation just because
100%.
there's
That's where the
competition
competition is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. See, I like that. I reckon that's
cool.
where it is at.
And then like try and win as a natty.
Yeah.
Damn, that'd be good. That'd be
100%.
pretty
Which I
powerful.
actually like, you know, if I have a really solid, like as I say, I'm not planning on competing till 2024, season B probably. So we're
got nearly
talking
2
like
years.
a 2-year off season where I can like implement everything I've learned in the last, like, you know,
Yeah, what a weapon.
and actually like,
And the good thing is, like, we know that you respond, like, you're so muscular in the best way possible. Like, your muscles do respond even as a natural. So you can, like, there's confidence there going, I don't need that stuff, which is really cool.
yeah, no, exactly. I kind of like want to prove a point.
Yeah, love that.
In a way, like, without trying to sound, you know, I just want to see how far I can take
Yeah,
it
100%.
as a natural, right?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah,
because, you know,
with some powerlifting in between.
it's one,
a full year by the sounds of it.
obviously everyone can do what they want to do, but like, you know, I'd never risk
And it's obviously
taking anything. Like,
Yeah, it's a personal
it's
choice.
a personal choice. Yeah.
Would you ever look to compete overseas as well? Is there
Yeah,
opportunities there?
100%, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the pathways to compete overseas, are they better in IFBB or ICN or?
Like there is like an ICN sort of like universe, like
Yeah.
like I know it's like there's big shows in like South Korea, and I think
Is there?
yeah, South Korea is huge, like it's massive for bodybuilding. They really get around it.
I'm really sorry
Sick.
that everyone just heard my high pitched voice.
That was nice.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for it.
So it'd be
yeah,
cool to
right.
kind of go to like an international show and like do well
That'd be fun.
there. Yeah, internationally for sure. Yeah. Maybe
you'd
even
probably
like
go
the
and win
UK,
it,
like
so-
the natural scene in the UK is pretty big.
Sweet.
Yeah, right. I
The
reckon they'd have-
US,
they'd have a
is
great-
definitely more.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. They're slinging needles between each other.
A little bit more of a non-tested arena.
Yeah, you put that so much better than I did.
But the thing is, as I say, like with figure, it's not necessarily a size game. It is
Yeah.
like a shape.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like
To be
the
limited
lady
to
who
size, otherwise
wins-
you go into the next division, right?
yeah, like the lady who's won like the last 5 Olympiads as like in the figure category 5BB, like she's not that big, you know. She
Right.
like who knows if she's taking stuff, probably, but
Yeah.
you know, just like yeah, she looks amazing though,
Mm.
Yeah.
you know. And like you look at her and you go like she could be natural, you know.
Yeah, 100%.
So
I
it's
got you.
not like
It's not out of
she's-
your realm.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know,
Yep.
obviously she's an amazing body,
Yep.
but it's not like she looks superhuman.
Yeah, right. So it makes things
Sydney
a bit
Gillen
more.
is her name, and she's just absolute gold.
It makes it a bit
She's
more
just-
achievable for you, or a bit more attainable to go. Yeah, I could
Not
probably
saying
do
that
it.
I will, but I'm
Yep.
just
Yeah,
like
100%.
That's
We know
what
what you mean.
Well, you're going to Olympia. That's what I'm hearing.
no. What I'm trying to say is like
We got beat her as well.
it's not as though the person who is winning is an absolute monster.
Yeah, yeah.
She
It is. That's
this
where you talk.
just amazing. Like her body is just.
Yeah.
She's like 5'1". I
Oh,
think.
wow.
That's where coming back to, I guess,
Like,
what you were saying before
I'll
about the
show you a
smoke
photo
and
of her.
mirrors more.
Mm.
So it's like you don't necessarily have to be the biggest, but you got to
Mm.
know how to.
Showcase that physique
Yeah, 100%.
the best way possible.
Like this is her,
Damn.
but I don't think she like.
She doesn't look 5'1" there.
Holy shit! But she doesn't look super peeled. I guess that's the thing though with bodybuilding. There's so many
Yeah.
different
Mm.
divisions,
Yeah.
descriptions of it. Like it's hard to like. I mean,
Yeah.
someone on the outside, it would be.
There's a lot to it.
Very
Yeah.
confusing.
I mean, I can barely tell you how many different divisions and figures.
To be
whatever.
fair though, in like powerlifting, like
A lot of weight
there's
categories.
weight categories, and there's
Raw,
like
raw plus,
raw,
whipped,
yeah,
all the things.
the P.
This is true. This is true. I
We have
didn't
our
think of it
things.
from that. Yeah, especially in like I guess the
And don't even start on the different federations.
Yeah, plenty of them.
now. Fuck
Oh
man.
Plenty of
my
them.
god!
Plenty of them. Don't you worry
Bloody
about that.
hell. Do you remember the easy days?
Yeah, there was 2.
When I was just getting into this, it took me like half a day to research all the different federations or get my head around the acronyms.
I don't even know. There's what?
I'm still getting them wrong.
6 or 7 probably.
Yeah, fucked.
Yeah, there's
You're-
two of the natty ones, and then GPC, APL, Capo. Then there's the new one, USPA, that just popped up.
APL,
Yeah, APL.
WRPF.
WRPF, yep.
That's 7.
7 of them, yep.
Yeah, right.
And then
fuck.
every other gym's running a novice comp these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's heaps of them.
That's insane.
Mm.
So okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Look, it's good and bad. It'd be nice to see it a little bit less diluted.
Yeah.
Well, you got
um,
Pro Raw as well.
And then you got your invite only comps as well.
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot less meaning around nationals, that's for sure, because of
Mate,
it.
yeah. Look at that.
Or any comp, for
Yeah,
that matter.
exactly,
But at
like-
the same time, you've got everyone trying to vie to be the best fed. So I certainly don't. And then most of them, my understanding, they're all privately owned. So I doubt any of them would ever agree to not be each other. No doubt. So it'll always be that way, which is kind of a shame.
See, that's where like
You definitely don't need 7 feds.
but like from a from rising tide raises all boats thing. It's I get from a business perspective, why everyone wants their piece of their pie, but yeah, as you said, it's diluting the competitions. It's making them less meaningful. Like we look at Pro Raw this year, it was the competition. Like there was good competition, but a lot of the athletes didn't show up, and it's a shame. We look at the GPC right now, their nationals. It's like there are spots vacant after 4 rounds of invites, 4 maybe 5.
There's just not as there's a lot more lifters than there used to be, but there's not enough to fill what's there
Yeah,
just yet.
But I'm interested from your perspective. You saying you did a lot of research to just even understand the fucking acronyms and all the difference. Where does your head go?
Yeah, well, I don't agree with any federation that if you compete, if you want to be a member of their federation, you are not allowed to compete elsewhere.
Yeah, 100%. That's a red flag straight away.
To me, that's anti-competitive.
That counts 2 of them out.
Is that PA?
Oh yeah, whichever.
No, you're allowed to compete. I think it's not PA, it's APU.
APU. PA would be the same.
Yeah, PA's.
And I understand
APU,
their reason.
Nah, that's changed.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, that's changed.
Oh.
Yep.
My face is shocked for those.
Yeah,
listening.
IPF brought the hammer down recently.
Really?
Yep.
Because I remember you were, but I've seen a lot of.
Well, that's when they just started off.
Right.
There was a recent decision in Europe about this actually, because there was an ice skating decision where if you're part of this,
Say ice skating.
Ice skating?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So then there's a big ruling essentially about whether or not
that's insane.
Not allowing their athletes to compete elsewhere was anti-competitive, and it was found to be anti-competitive. So they've gotten rid of that clause, and that's why actually PA used to not allow you to do that, but then I think they're
fuckwits.
It's heavily frowned upon still. That's for sure.
It is, but they like
that federation's gone to shit, and we all know why.
I can say I've had lifters from those federations not say they would love to lift at my comp, but they can't.
Yeah. Can't even be seen at
But
some
it
comps.
recently it changed recently.
I had that at my last comp.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh. When was that?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago.
Right. Well, I had it just because I wrote this class for me. I wrote an email to the president, and then and then he called me and basically said, "Yeah, we've recently gotten rid of the clause that's anti."
I want it. Well, the president. Who is the president?
Scott Muir.
No,
That's-
Powerlifting Australia.
Wilkes.
Yeah.
So everyone who's listening to this, everyone who's ever been around powerlifting just goes, sounds like a phone call from Wilkes. Yeah.
Yeah, but so
what a
basically
fuckwit.
would not.
Careful, bro. You see you.
I would not put myself into any federation that tries to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it seems good. It seems that APL have quite a good.
APL's
Is it APL?
That's
No.
Zero weakness.
Yes,
Southside?
yes, because they have tested and untested. You can compete with whoever, with whatever other federations you want.
You can do whatever you want there.
How do they manage that? This is what I'm
Different days.
different. Right.
I think they have I think actually no, I don't know what they do during. I assume they have different days.
APL was the one you originally got banned from.
When we did, that's the one I was banned from.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Previous owner, by
Previous
the way.
owner,
Yeah.
not the current one. Thomas, good guy. Yeah,
Thomas
I think
let
they
him
have
back.
different. I think at the last comp, I might be completely off. Everyone competed together, and you just nominated what you were.
Right.
And then maybe when it's a bigger comp, Team Natty's here and Team
Right.
Not Natty's over here.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's a really good way because I know a lot of people, used to be going to GPC and they're like, oh, but everyone's on gear. It's like, and the common response was, yeah, but it's your choice to compete in that federation if you didn't want to. Unfortunately, at the time, the only other federation that allowed you to wear wraps was pretty much GPC or Capo.
GPC was first.
GPC, yeah, that's right. And then now that APL's come along, which is, I think, they've got a good model, but now you've got US APL. I don't even know what the difference is there.
That's even funny because we're in Australia.
Well, yeah. Do you reckon they just put the US in because they're like, oh fuck, they've already got an APL?
Yeah, who knows?
Anyway, so USAPL.
Mm.
WFPF still.
Yeah, still
oh,
kicking.
they're still kicking on.
Yeah, they're still doing some stuff in Victoria,
Yeah.
Adelaide. You still see them down there. Tassie, of course.
I really, but
the
like,
homeland.
But then it's like one of them is like you need an like the AP. Oh, see, it's all the acronyms that just get me. But you need membership for one to like compete in that, and then you can't get membership obviously if you're competing in other federations.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like
some of them even I think you need your coach
kind of like
needs
playing
to be a
chess.
member.
Like if you want to compete in there,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's APU because I wasn't allowed out the back
Yes.
for
Yeah.
a comp for I think it was Mick Adams.
Yeah.
And that was like when APU was relatively new, and like I
Yeah.
remember Colin Webb kind of pulled me aside. Shout, he's a great dude.
Like, ooh.
And he's like, hey man, like,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, that's all good. I'll just go sit in the crowd, call numbers from the crowd. Just don't fuck up your warm ups.
Hey, Mick, more.
Yeah. It would. I remember because I was on the phone. Scott Watson was there.
Thomas used to get kicked out of the back of some comps too.
Oh, bro, yeah. Wouldn't,
oh my god.
I remember I had a PA lifter once, and I just went out the back to say good luck to my lifter, and like the lady I knew from another gym up north, she just was like, "Hey, look, you better get out." I'm like, I'm saying good luck. She was lovely about it, and I was obviously quite respectful of her, but
Yeah.
just it's a different animal. Eh?
Makes it hard for an amateur sport.
Fucking oath. That's
Amateur
the thing.
sport should be easy.
That's
Easy entry.
That's another
Yeah.
barrier to entry.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think novice comps obviously
They're very popular.
not attached to a not attached to a federation, just work because not anything goes, but to a degree, you can have a lot more flexibility.
Yeah.
Whereas you're putting in a comp and trying to expect people just to do that in the going through what you're going through. Well, fuck, which fed suits me best?
Mm.
Because there's way too many.
There are definitely too.
And like I'm kind of like an old loyalist. Like I just like Capo. I just like GPC. It's simple. You get to use a monolift. You get to use a deadlift bar.
And they both like each other.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually,
we don't hate each other. It's quite friendly.
Some feds not let you use a deadlift bar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What?
The
in the
team Natty
world?
uses straight bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure APL uses Alico squat bar.
Yeah, they use the 20,
and you
but they use
you got to walk it out too,
and you got to walk it out of a rack.
Yeah. See, I think that's why I kind of like attached to GPC and Capo is like.
Yeah.
And Capo, you have the option to walk it out. If I'm not mistaken,
You can optionally walk it out.
Yeah,
But Capo is just an untested fed. Is that right?
Yeah.
Capo's untested. GPC is untested.
Yeah.
But they're both sports or both federations. Sorry, that I look at and go, they've designed it around allowing the lifter to lift the most, to experience their best strength by having these sort of rulings in place. Like if you think about it, if you want to walk out your squats in Capo because you've been training like that, by all means walk it out. I think that's really good. You don't have to use the mono.
Yeah.
But I think, if we look at GPC now, I think it's in a bit of turmoil because there's so much federation dilution now and they haven't evolved with it. Whereas like we see all, tested, untested fed in APL, we've got different rulings across other.
I think it's hard just because I think like obviously natties want to be able to potentially like have the opportunity to place or do well.
See, it's
because on the one hand it's like, well, are you just going to try and every time you compete, are you just trying to beat your own numbers sort of thing?
I get that.
So to a degree, yes, but obviously some people do want to like be able to place and like natties aren't going to be able to.
But I guess again,
there's some strong natties.
Exactly, that was my next point.
There are some. There are.
You're a classic example, to be honest.
Have a look.
But I feel like for women,
there's some outliers. I mean,
I know nothing about it, but you would expect that. This is a whole other discussion that I don't know anything about, so I don't know why. But like, you'd expect what women can possibly enhance themselves with is much much smaller than what a man could, unless they're willing to really.
Well,
like,
that's the thing. It's like
push the edge.
Exactly, and how willing are you to push it? So I just did some numbers. So you totaled 407 in your first comp at 66 kilos.
That'd get your that'd almost be a GPC nuts invite at the moment, wouldn't it?
It literally would be probably a first round too.
There you go. So you'd be strong enough at
165 plus 82.5. You said
85.
80. Oh, that would be 410.
410. That's
be
right.
enough in the 60s.
Be enough in the 60s, be enough in the 67s.
So even as a first year natty athlete, in the non-tested fed, you would have got a nationals invite.
Yeah, which is why, like for me, I'm like, sweet, you know, I'm happy to compete in like
whatever fed, really.
Whatever fed, you know.
It's an
although when you get obviously once you then get to like the
top level,
like you're looking at you know,
what are you ready to do?
It's probably not
100%.
But for the men, you know, a natty male who might be strong as a natty, but this has no chance when you're versing.
Yeah, I think if you're looking like an averager who got strong, and you're going in an untested fed who with guys taking gear, like you probably at a disadvantage. But again, there's outliers to it. You can see that just by looking at the natty feds. Like there's guys that
IPF Worlds on this weekend. Have a look at some numbers that get thrown down there.
Is that
South Africa?
Oh, South Africa.
Yeah.
I follow some.
So in order to make it to IPF Worlds, this is my question.
APU.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so the APU is the affiliate to
IPF.
Yep. That's why they don't allow you.
That's so annoying though, because like it seems as though for the natty fed, APU is it the most sort of, you can go the furthest with it. It's the most like, established.
Each federation will have their own worlds. I think IPF is just the most well known because it's the longest.
Yeah, that's probably my uneducated opinion. Probably the most competitive worlds now because all your non-tested people are probably getting gravitated towards.
So that would be fun. Like I'd love to do that, you know.
But
and then like
but because it's attached to PA. Oh,
APU.
Thank you. Fuck, I can feel how you feel right now.
Like...
does that turn you away from doing it because it's attached to APU?
Well, then that means I can't do any GPC comp.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Oh, you wouldn't even be able to use wraps.
Lily wouldn't be able to coach you at the back.
Lily would definitely. No, she would be like banned as soon as she walked in.
Yep.
She's a pro raw athlete.
That's what I mean. Like this. Then we're talking
about. It's a lot
about
of deterrence.
Then we're talking. See how it's just so like.
Yeah.
And it gets even more complicated at the international.
It's like you've got to choose your side. You know, I'm like, I just want to compete in the sport.
You got to pick your bikie team, mate.
Surely, as long as like I can pass every single drug test.
Yeah.
Like
that doesn't matter. Yeah. Not to them, unfortunately. It's just
your coach has got to pass it.
So
your coach has got to pass it, but your coach, your coach can't even be seen. I've had lifters come up to me at meets and be like, "Hey, if anyone asks, I'm not here," and I'm like, "All good." As in, like they're just there to spectate.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's just fucking crazy.
But this is the predicament that I'm in because
100%.
I want to compete. I want to be able to compete in GPC. Potentially go to pro raw. Like I don't know. Like we'll see how we go, obviously. But
look, no offense, but you'll probably compete, get an invite the next day. Like let's be real.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
But I also then want to be able to take it like the natty route and go as far as I can go. Because then I know that like it's an even playing field for me. You know, I'm up against all other natural females. How do I go? But I can't do both.
Yeah,
no, you can't do both. But would you just then go all in on one? Or I understand your predicament now, but would you just go, you know what, fuck it. If I'm not allowed here, I'll just go all in here. Or IPF is really, you know, I want to see how far I can go as a natural athlete and really push it. Do you just go, I'll compete here, Lily coach me, but on the day, someone else has to handle you?
But no, because you're not even allowed to compete though in GPC. Like you're not. No,
you would be able to have competed, like you could have done it, but you would have to relinquish your membership.
Yeah.
And then probably provide evidence that you're no longer a member. Yeah. And then you would be able to, I assume, go across.
Yeah. So it's very.
Look at those barriers.
But at the same time, to sucks, be the argument to the other side, I do get why they do it because they want a very clean, very tested environment, and you unfortunately become guilty
around
by
that,
association.
You could test the athletes.
But in a sport where there's not much funding around, that becomes unfeasible. And I do agree. Like Johnny makes a good point playing devil's advocate. Like I understand why they do it. I think it's what a lot of the federations tried to do, and that's why they're in so much turmoil right now. You could try and be in like, what did fucking what's his name say? Like we can provide equal opportunity, but we can't guarantee equal outcome.
I just don't think it's doing any favors for the sport.
100%. I also agree with that.
At the end of the day, I think you just have to implement like robust testing procedures,
which is tricky.
Very tricky.
There's no money.
No money, but then
Yeah.
also like we know there's ways around
Hmm.
PED use.
Yeah, because the tricky part would be if you're coming in and out of competitions and federations. I imagine the testing outside of comp would get tricky for an amateur
But then it also
athlete.
brings attention to the sport in, I guess in a larger light of PED use. What kind of what does that attract from I guess a legal standpoint for business? Because at the end of the day, I think one thing that people do forget quite often is that these federations are a business. And that, a business, it still has to be around. You got to make money. You got to meet certain quotas, whatever it is, KPIs, however you want to put it. But then again, I can understand where you're coming from. Where it's saying it's diluting the sport. It's bringing it down. It's not allowing us to grow where we want it to be. And it affects the lifters. Obviously, we can see, like we've spoken a bit now, of how much confusion it causes. Is probably a really good word. And then from a coaching standpoint, it limits,
limits where we can take.
100%.
Definitely for me as a Capo State rep, I could never bring an athlete across to the other fed, too hard basket.
Yeah, like you can't even be seen really yet.
Nah, no way. And I had this chat with a new client I've got recently.
Yeah.
They came on board and I was like, well, we probably should have the chat about feds and stuff. Where were you thinking? And they were talking about some IPF stuff. And I was like, well,
I'm out.
I said, I'm not saying I'm out and I'll support and help you. She's like, oh, no, that's when I want to travel overseas. For now, I'll just do whatever you guys
That's
do.
why APL seems to be the sort of
but you'd have the same
sensible
problem.
center here,
But you'd have the same problem. If you went to APL, you still wouldn't be allowed to go to APU. You got to pick your team.
Yeah.
So APU is the one that is like,
you'd never get.
You're out on your own.
Yeah.
You're either APU, all or nothing.
Sure,
But
PAs
all
are
the
the same.
others do seem
100%.
to have. You can.
Yeah, other ones. No, I don't think anyone really cares.
And I
The
think
issue is the
issue comes
from
back
what-
to the
from
natural.
what is that the problem is as a natural, the APU seems to be the most competitive natural federation.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
So that's annoying
Yeah.
because I want to compete in the
Whereas-
most competitive natural federation.
internationally, APL, I think it's IPL, is their international comp. They have a pretty strong comp internationally. Certainly not at the
Oh, yeah,
IPF
makes sense,
standard. Of lifting, but it would be up there with some pretty good comps.
Is that the one that's in the Gold Coast?
That's
Later
the
in
Worlds.
yeah, that's correct. That's a Natty Worlds on the Gold Coast.
APL.
Yeah.
APL.
Yeah,
IPL.
It'll
yeah,
be-
IPL. It'll be
APL is
IPL.
the Australian Powerlifting League,
Yeah.
and the IPL is the international.
So
the
essentially, I feel like this is what I'm going to be
Yeah.
going for.
Yeah, nice.
Cool, sick. Because you can still wear wraps, eh?
Yeah, they have wraps and sleeves.
But then how do they place people with all the different...
Wraps are against wraps and sleeves are against
Oh,
sleeves.
really?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's
That
how they
was-
do it. Everyone
See,
gets
then
a medal.
this dilutes it further.
Everyone gets a medal. That's
Well,
where
it just
like
opens up the conversation.
IPF gets very simple. It's
Yeah.
you wear sleeves and that's what you do, or you go equipped,
Yeah.
and everyone competes on that
See-
stage. They've been around the longest, and they're very protective of what they've got.
And like to a credit, it could be why they've lasted so long.
Yeah,
You
they've
know,
chosen their path, and
They
this is how
stuck
we
to
do
it,
it.
stuck to
Yeah.
their guns, and you can't just go to the IPF like no matter what. And their top lifters are fucking strong.
yeah, I was just trying to look up that Canadian forklift. She won.
The 46, 47 kilo chick.
Nah, the 73.
Oh,
I don't know what her numbers were, but I know she totaled 567 at 73 in sleeves at the Nationals.
Wow.
I think I just watched.
Jessica such and such,
She pulled like 2 something.
probably 60.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I just saw it.
a Lico barbell. Yeah,
Damn.
insane.
Just to make me feel weak. Thanks, Johnny.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Um.
I think
That's impressive.
yeah.
I just want a 500 total at some point.
right, you're-
So
Your time will come.
all like
I'm not quitting, and not that I ever plan on quitting, but I'm not letting
don't
myself
think
quit.
I don't. When you said that, I don't think Johnny or I has his head and go, "Oh yeah, she'll do that."
500 is fine.
I think
Okay,
you can
how
do
long
that.
it takes me? We're getting there.
But that was a really good conversation. I'm not gonna lie. I think it was really good
Hmm.
and a really good insight, especially for a lot of people listening to, and coaches who listen, what our athletes go through in terms of trying to pick a federation.
Yeah, it's tough.
That is tough, but we will now. This is to get a better insight or a deeper insight into the real Kate Archibald.
Yes.
Here we go.
10 very random questions.
Okay.
They're super random.
Oh yeah, they are.
First thing that comes to mind,
Okay.
we want you to spit it out quick fire.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Friday afternoon, I'm not ready, but let's do it
No,
anyway.
this is going to make it even better.
Kate,
Oh,
what'd you have for dinner last night?
I had hokey fish.
Hokey fish, lovely. The boot of your car, what's inside it?
There's actually some puzzles
Cool.
Okay.
Last time you changed your bed sheets?
yesterday.
Middle name.
Elizabeth.
Favorite year and why?
This year.
Why?
Self-explanatory, really.
Yeah. This podcast.
First, this podcast. June 10, 4:46. Best day I've ever had. Favorite piece of music ever owned? Yeah, whatever. First piece of music ever owned?
Owned like a
Owned.
CD.
CD,
Yeah.
cassette.
Gotta
the modern
be.
people who
It's probably
download.
just like, like the 2004 like
Fresh
best
hits.
Fresh
Yeah.
hits.
So fresh.
So fresh.
Yes.
Yes.
There we
I'll get around
go.
that.
Yeah.
How
Last-
old are you?
25.
Yeah, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, 2004.
Makes sense. Last dream you had?
Oh God, I can't even remember. Nah, pass.
What will you do when you retire?
Probably. I'd like to travel. Yeah.
Travel is excellent. Your morning routine?
It's pretty basic. Just shower.
Mhm.
Brekkie.
Mhm. Same
head out.
breakfast every day?
Most days, yeah.
Yep. Excellent. What do you think of AI?
Very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Big fan.
Definitely an emerging space. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of money if you're good at
Invest is
Yes.
what she's saying.
All in.
Mate, that was I really enjoyed that conversation. That was absolutely brilliant. And we really appreciate you coming on, sharing a lot of your success, and congratulations again from Johnny and myself. What you've achieved in the last bloody 6 months is just, it's been great to watch it from the outset, like from a very, obviously distance of social media, but it's been phenomenal to watch and see you back in the gym lifting's even better. So we wish you all the best in
Thank
your next
you.
endeavor. We
Thanks so
can't wait to
much.
hear when you've just, we'll have to get you back on when you win IFBB Olympia.
Total 500.
But for those wanting to reach out, how know more information about yourself or bodybuilding, powerlifting, where can they find you?
You can just find me on my Insta, I guess.
Yep.
DM me _Kate Archibald.
Sweet, we'll put
Yeah.
that in the show notes, mate. Thank you so much, and you enjoy the rest of
Sweet.
your weekend.
Thank you. You
Thanks for
too.
coming on.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
That was
We out.
that was a great one to finish. Pitch perfect. Yeah.